Most people think they know China, the Great Wall, the pandas, Shanghai. They have no idea. China has lakes that contain 5 colors simultaneously, mountains that float above the clouds, a village designed 900 years ago in the shape of a water buffalo, visible only from above, 10 wonders, 1 country. Stay till number 1. We begin with a landscape that has been shaped by human hands for over 650 years, and that nature has slowly, beautifully made its own. The Longji rice terraces in Guangxi Province, named the Dragon's Backbone, because from the air, the terraces that spiral up these mountain slopes look exactly like the scales of a dragon's back rising from the mist. Construction began during the Yuan dynasty in the 13th century and continued for generations. Zhuang and Miao ethnic minority farmers carving these terraces into slopes so steep that most people would not attempt to build anything there at all. The result covers 66 square kilometers and rises from 300 to 1,100 meters above sea level. In spring, the terraces fill with water and reflect the sky like 1,000 broken mirrors. In summer, they turn a green so vivid it seems lit from within. In autumn, they go gold with ripe rice. And in winter, snow fills the carved channels and the entire mountain turns white and still. 4 completely different landscapes, 1 place, 1 dragon's backbone, and the Yao women who have farmed these slopes for centuries are famous for their extraordinary long hair, many never cutting it their entire lives, reaching lengths of over 1.5 meters. They wash it in fermented rice water, a practice unchanged for centuries. Stay overnight in Ping'an or Dazai village. Watch the sunrise hit the terraces before anyone else is awake. And go in late September, when the rice turns gold and the dragon's backbone glows. From the dragon's backbone, we travel to a town that looks like it was painted rather than built. Fenghuang, the Phoenix, an ancient town in the western Hunan province with over 300 years of history, and a landscape so perfectly composed that travelers and writers have called it one of the most beautiful towns in China for centuries. The Toujia River runs through the heart of Fenghuang, and along its banks, on both sides, wooden stilted houses called Jiuzhaigou lean out over the water on wooden pillars. Their reflections turn the river below into a moving painting. Red lanterns hang from every eave. Stone stepping stones cross the river in the shallows. Ancient city walls and gate towers stand at the edge of the old town exactly as they have for 3 centuries. This was the homeland of 28 different ethnic minority groups, primarily Miao and Tujia people, whose culture, textiles, silver jewelry, and traditional ceremonies have survived here with extraordinary continuity. Walking through Fenghuang's narrow lanes in the evening, with lantern light on the water and the sound of the river below the stilted houses, is one of the great atmospheric experiences that China offers. Stay in a riverside Daojiaolu guest house. Sleep directly over the river. Visit at dusk when the lanterns come on and the water reflects everything. And wake before 8 a.m. because the morning mist on the Tuojiang River at first light before the town wakes is something you will remember for the rest of your life. From the Phoenix town, we travel east to Anhui Province and to a village that was designed not just to be lived in, but to be seen from above. Hongcun, a UNESCO World Heritage Village built in 1131 CE and constructed in the shape of a lying water buffalo, a design so precise and so intentional that it only becomes fully apparent when you look at it from the surrounding mountains. The hills are the buffalo's head, the ancient trees are its horns, the waterways flowing through every lane are its intestines, the central moon pond is its stomach, the south lake at the entrance is its belly. A village shaped like an animal, designed 900 years ago, with a water circulation system so sophisticated that fresh spring water flows through channels past every single house in the village, providing water for cooking, washing, and fire prevention before emptying into the ponds. The buildings that line these waterways are extraordinary examples of Hui-style architecture, white walls, gray tile roofs, and interiors carved with wood so intricate that visiting scholars have called them folk imperial palaces. Ang Lee filmed Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon here, And the village has looked exactly the same in every shot of that film as it looks today. Arrive before 8 a.m. The morning light on the moon pond with nobody around is the defining photograph of Hongcun. Stay inside the village in a converted ancient residence. The courtyards at night are completely silent, completely beautiful, and completely unlike anything else you will sleep inside on this earth. From the green valleys of Anhui, we travel 3,000 kilometers west to the edge of the Gobi Desert and to the most extraordinary cultural crossroads in Chinese history, Dunhuang, a desert oasis city in Gansu Province that was the western gateway of the ancient Silk Road, the great trading route that connected China with Persia, Rome, and the entire ancient world. For over 1,000 years, merchants, monks, soldiers, and pilgrims passed through Dunhuang, carrying silks, spices, ideas, and religions between civilizations. And in the sandstone cliffs just outside the city, they left something extraordinary behind: the Mogao Caves. 492 cave temples cut into a cliff face over a span of 1,000 years, from the 4th to the 14th century. Inside them, over 45,000 square meters of Buddhist murals, 2,400 painted clay sculptures, a complete visual record of 1,000 years of Silk Road art, culture, and religious exchange, preserved almost perfectly by the dry desert air. 1,000 years of human history, kept alive by a desert that never rains. And then there is Crescent Lake, a natural freshwater spring in the middle of the Singing Sand Dunes, dunes that rise 250 meters above the desert floor. A crescent of clear water surrounded by sand mountains, exactly as it has been for thousands of years, fed by underground springs that the desert has never been able to swallow. Book your Mogao Caves tickets in advance. Entry is restricted to protect the murals. Ride a camel to Crescent Lake at sunset, and spend one night in the desert camp on the Dune Ridge. The stars above the Gobi Desert, with sand dunes in every direction and complete silence surrounding you, are unlike any sky you have ever seen. And now, we arrive at the landscape that made the entire world look at China differently. Wuling Yuan, the UNESCO World Heritage Area in Hunan Province that contains over 3,000 quartzite sandstone pillars, many rising more than 200 meters straight out of the earth, their tops covered in forest, their bases lost in mist and cloud. They look less like mountains and more like something a geologist dreamed while reading science fiction. When James Cameron needed a landscape for the floating mountains of Pandora in Avatar, he came here. The southern pillar now officially bears the name Avatar Hallelujah Mountain, and standing at the edge of the Zhangjiajie observation platform, looking out over a sea of cloud with thousands of stone pillars emerging from it in every direction, you understand exactly why he chose this place. The Beilong elevator, the world's highest outdoor elevator, rises 326 meters up the cliff face in a glass shaft. It carries you from the valley floor to the plateau above in just 2 minutes. And the glass walkway that juts out from a cliff edge 1,430 meters above sea level offers a view that most people experience only in their dreams. Go on a weekday morning. Take the cable car directly to Zhangjiajie first, and do not avoid the misty days, because the pillars emerging slowly from cloud, appearing one by one as the mist shifts, is more extraordinary than any clear blue sky could ever be. From stone pillars in the clouds, we travel to water so extraordinary that scientists still debate exactly why it is this color. Jiuzhaigou Valley in northern Sichuan, the Valley of 9 Villages, a UNESCO World Heritage Site that contains dozens of lakes at different elevations, each one a completely different color: turquoise, deep blue, emerald green, pale pink, and the astonishing 5-flower lake, a single body of water that appears to be 5 different colors simultaneously, depending on where you stand and how the light hits the calcium carbonate deposits on its bed. The water here is so clear that you can see perfectly preserved submerged forests beneath the surface. Ancient trees that fell into the lakes centuries ago, preserved by the mineral-rich water. You can see the bark, the branches, the detail of wood that has been underwater for hundreds of years. The local Tibetan communities call these lakes Huizhou. sons of the sea, and the valley is home to giant pandas, golden monkeys, and over 80 species of rare plants. In autumn, when the forests surrounding the lakes turn every shade of orange, red, and gold, the reflection in the colored water below creates one of the most visually overwhelming natural scenes on this planet. Book well in advance. Entry is limited to 5,000 visitors per day. Visit in October for peak autumn color, and take the bus to the far end of the valley first. Then walk back down slowly with the light behind you the entire way. From the colored lakes of Sichuan, we stay in Sichuan, and we arrive before something that will rearrange your sense of scale permanently. The Leshan giant Buddha, carved directly into the red sandstone cliff face at the confluence of 3 rivers. Construction began in 713 CE during the Tang dynasty and took 90 years to complete. 3 generations of craftsmen working on a single statue. It is 71 meters tall, the world's largest stone Buddha sculpture. Its shoulders are 28 meters wide. Its ears are 7 meters long. Each of its eyebrows is 5.6 meters. Its toenails alone are large enough for a person to sit on comfortably, and it was carved specifically to face the confluence of the 3 rivers, because a monk named Hai Tong believed that the Buddha's presence would calm the violent waters that were capsizing boats and killing sailors. Here is the remarkable thing. It worked. The rock excavated from the cliff during the carving was deposited into the river, altering the flow and genuinely reducing the turbulence. A 71-meter Buddha, built as an act of faith, that also functioned as a hydraulic engineering solution. In the 8th century, there is even a hidden drainage system inside the Buddha, channels carved into its hair, collar, chest, and behind its ears that prevents rainwater from eroding the stone. It has been protecting the statue for 1,200 years. Take a riverboat to see the Buddha from the water. The full scale only becomes real from this angle. Then walk the cliff path past the feet. 2 completely different statues, 1 impossible achievement. From the ancient Buddha, we return to Zhangjiajie, but to a completely different experience, one that is modern, and that will stop your heart. The Zhangjiajie Grand Canyon Glass Bridge opened in 2016, 430 meters long, 6 meters wide, suspended 300 meters above the valley floor between 2 cliff faces, made entirely of 99 layers of transparent glass. When you step onto this bridge, when you look down through your feet at a valley floor 300 meters below, your brain sends every alarm signal it has simultaneously. The glass does not move. The bridge is completely safe, but your body does not believe it. And that disconnect between knowing you are safe and feeling as though you are standing on air above a 300-meter drop is one of the most extraordinary physical sensations that travel can produce. The bridge was designed to hold 800 people simultaneously. Engineers tested it by dropping large steel balls onto the glass panels and driving cars across it. When it opened, it set the world record for longest and highest glass bridge. And then, China built more of them, because apparently standing on a transparent bridge above a 300-meter drop is something that once was not possible, and is now exactly the kind of thing that China builds. Go early morning on a weekday, and do not avoid the misty days, because when the canyon disappears below you and the bridge appears to float in cloud, that is the moment you will never forget. We return to Jiuzhaigou because one visit was not enough, and because there is something here that belongs in a category of its own. The Norilang Waterfall, the widest waterfall in China, 270 meters across, falling over a travertine ledge in a continuous wall of white water, framing a turquoise pool below with such perfect natural composition that it looks less like geology and more like intentional art. What makes Norilang extraordinary, beyond its scale, is its setting. In autumn, the forest crowding both sides of the waterfall turn every shade of red, orange, and gold. The colored leaves fall into the mist at the waterfall's base. The turquoise water below reflects both the falls and the burning trees above. White water, colored forest, turquoise pool, all existing in a valley that has been home to Tibetan communities for centuries. Prayer flags flutter above the valley, Ancient wooden Tibetan houses cluster on the hillsides, and the sound of water that never stops in Jiuzhaigou. It is everywhere, always, running over travertine, dropping from ledges, moving through the colored lakes. Jiuzhaigou is a place that works on you slowly, and Norilang is its loudest, most overwhelming statement. Visit in the afternoon. The light falls directly on the waterfall between 2 and 4 p.m. And, if you can, come back a second day. Morning mist changes everything. We return to Sichuan one final time, but to something completely different from anything we have seen so far. Huanglong, the Yellow Dragon, a UNESCO World Heritage Site 144 kilometers from Jiuzhaigou. And, according to local legend, this place was named after a golden dragon that once flew over these mountains, leaving trails of color in its wake wherever it passed. Standing here today, looking at what spreads across the mountainside in front of you, that legend does not feel like a story anymore. It feels like a description. Over 3,400 individual pools, cascading down the mountainside in terraces, turquoise, amber, emerald, gold, and deep blue. All at once, all visible simultaneously, climbing toward the snow-capped peak of Suibaoding Mountain above. This is the five-color pond, the crown jewel of Huanglong, sitting at nearly 3,900 meters above sea level, almost at the edge of what the human body can comfortably breathe. These pools were not built. They were not designed. They formed over thousands of years as mineral-rich water flowed down from the glaciers above, depositing calcium carbonate layer by layer, building natural dams, creating terrace after terrace after terrace of pools, each one a slightly different depth, each one reflecting light slightly differently, each one a different color, gray-white travertine beneath, yellow-green algae within, sunlight from above. 3 simple ingredients, thousands of pools, every color you can imagine, and just below the 5-color pond, the golden sand pavement, a massive sloping sheet of golden travertine where water cascades in a thin glittering layer across rock that genuinely looks like the scales of a dragon. Walking down through Huanglong, past the 14th century temple, past pools named Mirror Pond and Welcoming Guests Pond, each one completely different from the last, you begin to understand why this place earned the name Fairyland on Earth. Take the cable car up. Walk down. The altitude here is serious. Move slowly and let your body adjust. But when you reach the 5-color pond and you see thousands of pools in every color spreading beneath a 5,588-meter snow peak, you will understand completely. Some things really do look like they were painted by a dragon. 10 wonders, 1 country, a civilization that built villages shaped like water buffaloes and lakes that contain every color, a desert oasis that has existed for thousands of years, and a glass bridge that stops your heart. China is not one place. It is 100 places, each one more extraordinary than the last, and the world has barely started to notice. These wonders are waiting for you. Plan your visit. Go with time, because China will give you more than you came for, and I will see you in the next one.